Hey guys, give me just a minute. I'm going to get us live in our group and we're going to rock and roll today. All right, good afternoon, everybody. We are live. We are going to be talking today about how to build a landing page in under 30 minutes. It's going to be fully automated. I'm going to walk you through this process. This is sometimes you just need to build a quick landing page to attract leads, to engage your clients. There are hundreds of reasons why you may need a landing page. And today I'm going to walk you through building one. Why? Because I'm building one for you guys. And I figure this is a great opportunity for training on how to build a landing page. So I'm going to share my screen here. And I am going to be working out of our Profit Lifter account today. So because I'm going to do it, let's make the most of it. All right, so creating a landing page in under 30 minutes and fully automated landing page. There are a couple steps that we're going to need to take to be able to make this work. Some of which are going to include actually having the landing page there, having it designed. Give me just a second. I've got a couple of adjustments on my computer here I need to make. Having it designed, making sure that it's automated, making sure that you're able to collect their information, just basically top to bottom, everything that you need for it. And we're going to dive in. So where we're going to start is we're actually going to go down to sites in your Profit Lifter account. Let's make this a little bigger so it's easier for you guys to see. And if you're joining me, make sure you like and follow us and do all those fun things that happen on social media. Hey, Michael, good to see you. Glad you are here joining and hanging out with us today. All right. So what we're going to be, so where we're going to start is we're going to come up here. We're going to create new funnel and we're going to just create one from blank. And we're going to keep this nice and easy. So this one, I'm going to name this one, we're going to name this one Snap-on Request. And the reason that I'm building this is actually for you guys, because what we want to do is we want to have a form that you guys can just go and fill out. If you're like, oh man, this would be a really cool automation to have inside of Profit Lifter, that you can come in and just request a Snap-on and put it on our list of things to build out for you. So we're going to get started here, and you'll notice first thing it's going to pull up is your settings. It's going to have just kind of the blank part where we're going to be building. Now, a couple things, if you haven't been inside of the page builder yet, the website and page builder, what we're going to be looking at is we're just taking a look, making sure everything's here. If you have chat widgets, which you always should, you can pull those in right here and have those available on the page. So for this one, we're just going to go ahead and put that in there just in case someone has a question. The other thing, when you're building your landing pages are going to be separate from your website. So the favicon, or this little icon that's up here at the top inside of the browser, isn't going to show up unless you paste it in here. So what that's going to look like is, if you know what it is, and I'm going to show you a little hack here. If you want to open up, if you hold Control, or I believe it's Command on Mac, I'm a PC guy. You can click the button; it'll open it in another tab so that you can grab all of your images right here. But I'm going to come right in to. I'm going to grab our logo out of our folder here, and you click your three buttons here, and it'll say Get Link, and that's going to copy the link to the image. Now all we have to do is just come over here and paste that link, and it will automatically show up. And we're going to hit Save. Now, you can tell there's no pages. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create our actual landing page. This is going to be the first one that people are going to see when they go to your URL. So we're just going to call this one the request page. So we're going to go, we're going to call this Snap-on request. And we're going to create funnel step. We're going to let the system run. All right, now when we're building a page, you've actually got two different options that you can choose from here. The first option is if you're you can use an existing like website funnel. If you've got funnels, you can that you like how they're looking, you can come in here and grab a page, and it will automatically populate. It will automatically pull in all the content from that. Same thing with your website. Like if you've got a page on your website, you're like, man, I just absolutely love this page. Let's use this page, or a webinar. If you've got a webinar, you can put it in there as well. But we're going to create for blank because I want to make sure you guys know how to use the website builder. Because if you're not building funnels, you are missing out on the fun of marketing. All right. So check this out. We just started here and the thing is blank. Everything's just a blank canvas. So we're going to come up here to plus. We're going to add our first element. And we are going to, so when you're working inside the page builder, you have your sections, you have your row or column row, and then you've got the columns that are inside of here. And these columns can actually be added so that you can have multiple columns for the page, or for that row. Gets really handy when you're like trying to put an image on one side and content on the other side. But for right now, we're just going to do single because this is going to be our top header that's up here. Next, we are going to click Add Element. Now, your elements inside of here, these are going to be like your text, your forms, your blogs, media. You can see your images, videos, FAQs, photo gallery. You've got custom stuff that you can use like custom codes, surveys, calendars, reviews. SVGs are actually just a different type of images that will actually allow you to change the color of them. SVGs are really handy if you're like icons, if you're using icons on the website, because then you can customize them to match your brand. You can embed your reviews. You can do countdown timers, minute timer, day timer, and then you've got navigation menu. This one's new. Let's see what this looks like because this actually would be our top one here. All right, so you can see the navigation. This is going to be your navigation menu. This is going to be for when you're building a landing page. I don't like putting in menu items on a landing page, simply because the whole goal of them being on that landing page is to actually perform the action that you want them to do. The best way to explain it for me, the way that I always look at it is that websites are for content and for education, and that includes like blog posts, everything like that. Landing pages are for actions. So now that we have that, we're gonna scroll down on the right down here to the bottom. And we are going to grab our logo. So we're just going to come right back in here. I'm going to grab our Profit Lifter logo. And now we've got that up there. Now with these images, if you're not careful, these images can get skewed. So this section at the very bottom down here, this is going to be where like you can adjust the size, alt text for SEO, brand logo is fine. Image options, this would be like if you're going to have them, like if they click that button, if you want to send them back to your home page, something like that. That's basically, usually people assume that when they click a logo that it's going to take them back to their home page. Now, little tip for landing page building, if you are going to build like a funnel and it's going to have multiple pages and you want to reuse this over and over again, let's say you get your header dialed in where you want. And I'm going to do a little design. I'm going to take all of our padding out of here because when it's a menu like this, I like it to be as snug to the top as possible. Kind of an inconspicuous logo sitting up there. And that looks good. Let's drop these out. And the reason that I'm doing this all just on one is because with this, now I can come up here and save this element. So let's just call this one header, add to, and there's two options. You can save it as a template, meaning that like you can go in there and grab it. And then if you change it on one page, it's only going to change for that one page. The global section means that if you save this and then like if I go in on, let's say I'm working on another page and I'm like, you know what, I do need to add some menu items in there. It's going to update that everywhere that that global section is included inside of this one funnel. Now that's an important differentiator there because sorry, it's not account wide. It's literally just for the website or the funnel that you're working under. It's going to get real loud here in a second. My daughter just got home from school and my dog's going to throw a fit here. Sorry about that. So as we're going through this, so now we've got this saved, we got this set up here. Next, I'm going to create another section because that's just what makes it work best. We're going to add one column. Now with this, we know that we've already got our header set up here. We've already got everything situated. Now what we're going to do is we need to start putting content. So we're going to grab our header and put a sub headline under here. And we're going to grab a content section as well, or just a paragraph as well. Now, another quick trick, like I'm looking at these fonts. These are not the fonts that we use for our design. If you want to change the font, the font will only change on an individual page. It doesn't change it throughout the entire funnel. But you can come up here, find your font, and there are just a massive amount of fonts that are in here. So like if you know what your fonts are, if you already have that defined in your brand, which we talked about on Wednesday, you would just go there, type it in, and it's going to add it. Next, you're going to look at your content font. We do use Lato for our content, so that's going to work out fine there. The reason that I like this is that if you want to do, like, let's say you do a brand change and you're like, hey, I'm gonna like change the feel of the website. I want to change my fonts, things like that. This will allow you to go through and just update it here, and it will update it across your entire website. All right, so now we've got the information here. Now, the last thing that we're going to want to do with this is we do need to add a form. Do I have that? Okay, I got the right one pulled up there. So we are going to add a form element in here. Now, it is going to pull up the option to just scroll. You can see I got a massive amount of forms that we have in here. But this is a new landing page. It's a new function, new form. And so right under here, if you wish to add a new form, click here. So we're going to click. It's going to open up the form builder for us. And that way we can actually just come in and start creating the form. Now, as we get into building this form out, this can get a little bit hairy. So we're going to spend a lot of time over here. This is different. I've never seen templates for a form. Cool. I'll have to play around with that and see what that looks like. All right, let's take a look at our forms. Our form. Okay, so the next thing is now that we're building out our form, we need to be thinking about like what is the function. So what am I trying to accomplish? What information do I need? Like what do I need to do to make sure this works and gives me everything that I need? So we're going to rename this one. We're going to call this one Snap-on request. And don't worry, guys, this page that I'm building over here, this is actually going to show up inside of your Profit Lifter account. So if you have some great ideas or some snap-ons that you would like added, let us know and in that form. Now, with the form elements, it works kind of the same way as the page builder. You do have different options, and you do have the ability that you can add custom fields in here, meaning that you're going to be able to come in and any fields that you have added to your contact records, you would be able to add them right in there. But for this one, my form is not super formal. Like I don't really need to know who's coming through because this is the only reason that I would care about who is coming through on this is because we may want to just email them and go, hey, congratulations, the Snap-on that you requested is live. But it's completely up to you on how you want to approach that. But this is, like I said, this is how we're using it. But we're still going to make these required. Next, let's get into styling the form. Now, we are collecting a full name up here. The beauty of the CRM is that if they put in their full name, it is going to segment it automatically and put first name, last name, and make sure that it's there. But we are going to come up here to the top right to styles and options. And you can see you can do single column, which just makes it all one column that goes down there. Or you can do two column, which will kind of break them up and give it more of a streamlined feel. You do have the ability to do a single line also. The single line actually works incredibly well for like if you're doing like a newsletter opt-in, something like that. But for us, we're going to do the two column form because how much space we're using on this. Now, with this form, now that we have it styled this way, if we click on the individual fields that we're collecting in here, you're going to see on the right that it's going to give you these options over here where you can change the name, you can change the label on there, you can change the full name, first name, last name, whatever. However you want to put that in there. This query key, this actually has to do with as a URL parameter to populate in the field. So that gets very advanced, gets very tricky. But this one down here, this field width, we're going to put this at 100, and you see how it just spreads that across both of the columns. So if you want to, if you have designs that you want to implement, whatever, you can come in here and play around with that to make it feel like what you want it to feel like. So we're going to look at full name, email address, phone number. Next thing we're going to look at is we need to collect now that we've got that. Now we need to start thinking about how are we going to collect the data that they're going to be inputting in here. So with this, we're going to scroll down to our quick add under text, and you can see you've got single line, multi-line, or text box list. So we're going to start with a text box list. Actually, we're not. Sorry, I lied. We're going to go with the multi-line. What I was going to use the text box list for, I'll show you here in just a second. We're actually going to choose from one of these elements down here. So with this one, we want to label this. And we're going to say, what's your great idea for a Snap-on? Type your amazing idea here. And hey, I'm going to make that required because it doesn't do me any good if they don't actually put that in there. All right, so what's your great idea for a Snap-on? Got that. Cool. Next, so this is going to be a single drop down, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do with this here. We're going to go ahead and make this one 100 as well. We're going to call this Snap-on category. And what this is going to do is it's going to give us a list of, where is it? This is going to give us a list of options that they can drop down and choose. So if we're going to come over here to options, and we're going to go, we're just going to say automation, marketing. Let's do this. Let's call it marketing, sales, automation, and other. Let's call it support. That way we know if it's for customer support. And this is just basically letting us collect some additional information. With this, you can also enable condition calculations where you can put a value in here. You can go, okay, this one's worth 10, this is worth 100, this is worth 50, whatever. This is really helpful if you're like collecting information about like a sales process, something like that for marketing, where you could come in and kind of prejudge how much that lead is going to be worth. which I think would be really handy in a sales process. Okay, so we've got everything there. Last thing we're going to do is we are going to update our terms and conditions. If you don't have those, throw them into ChatGPT. Works wonderfully, and have it come up with that. But for this, we're actually going to remove this because these are for internal users for us. Like we're not worried about. We're not going to be worried about like everybody who's using this will already be opted in. And will already have all their information because they're already they are already clients and they're already leads in here. So submit your Snap-on ideas. So where I'm at now is I am actually inside of the button, and we are looking through. We are changing what the button says down here at the bottom, and just making sure it fits. Posted. So if you have subtext that you want to put on there, it's a great way to go about that. And then if you want to change the colors, you want to change anything, you can come in here, change what it looks like, change the size of the fonts, the weight of the fonts. So like this one, let's say I want it super bold, you can come in here and add that. We're going to beef up that button just a little bit more so it pops a little bit more. So now our button is done. Really simple. Is nothing too fancy there. The last section is going to be your privacy policy and terms of service. Excuse me. With your privacy policy, you will want to click on this and come over here to the right to your general settings, and you're going to highlight it. We're going to hit our hyperlink button here, and you can see it's just pulling up example.com. So from here, you would put in your privacy policy, which if you're using a Profit Lifter site would be privacy-policy. And that will take care of that. Terms of service, we are going to do the same thing. And your terms should be the same thing. Different, it should be /terms. That's it. And this is actually terms of use, not terms and conditions. Terms of service. So we're going to change that to terms of use and just put that there. And that's it. Like, I'm happy with that form. It looks good. Now, the only thing that I'm not madly in love with is with these forms, it's going to automatically add it automatically adds a shadow behind it, meaning that you can see colors and background. Here we go. So background, this is going to impact, like if you have, if you want to change the color, the background color of the form itself, you could do that here. I'm going to keep it white though. Come on. There you go. You can add images, all that fun stuff. Agency branding. If you want to throw our name out there, we're always happy to see you do that. But no need to do that if you don't you don't want to. Under the style, you can also change whether it's a box or if you just want to have a line there that they can fill out. This line actually isn't a terrible idea if you want to come in and just like remove the labels. And I believe you could do that under the styles and options here. You used to be able to do that under the styles and options. I'm not sure it's going to allow you to anymore. Yeah. Form settings. We'll get into these form settings here in just a second. On page view, pixel, on submit. Okay. So it looks like it's not going to allow us to remove that, but that's okay. Because I actually prefer the box. It just kind of fits our flow a little bit better with that. All right, so our form is looking good. I'm happy with it. I think this is going to work. Now, the last thing we need to do is we do need to come in and so I'm not clicked on anything. We're going to click on styles and options. On options, we need to think about on submit. What's going to happen? Now, there are two places that this can happen inside of your inside of Profit Lifter. One, if you program it here, you can select it on, well, I'll just show you on the page here in just a second. But this will allow you to say, okay, I'm gonna do an order confirmation. I'm gonna have it send to a different URL. So like I may say this is gonna be profitlifter.com/thanks. But for this one, we're gonna leave a message there because I'm going to show you where we're going to add that over here. All right. Now let's see if that showed up. So this is going to be Snap-on requests right there. And you can see your form populates right in. Now, like I said, the only thing that I don't really care for with these forms is that it automatically puts that shadow back behind it, but it's not a huge deal. Like I think it still looks good for the form. So from here, now we are going to get into, we're going to put a bottom footer on here as well, just because this is something that is good to have. And we're just going to put a paragraph in here. And we're going to call this privacy policy. Oh, it's got the privacy policy and terms of use right there. I'm going to skip out. But if you have a footer. Now, one trick that I can tell you is that if you have a website, like let's say that you've already got a website and a web page on there that you want to use your footer for. You guys are about to see my level of geek here with our website. I got a bunch of pages in here. But one thing, like I like how our footer looks, and like for this one, I'm basically gonna be using the same URL, or so it'll just be our profitlifter.com URL when we launch that. But with this means that now we need to come in and create our funnel. Where is my funnel? Snap-on request. Here we go. So we are going to, oh, it's not, hold on, need to save this. That's why it's showing that nothing's there. And piece of advice I can give you, save often. Save your stuff a lot, because if you when you save it, you could actually go back here and like look through the different versions, and it's just really helpful for setting all that up. But for now, we are going to set up a new page, and we're going to just call this assets. I'm going to show you how you can import from other websites using what we had just talked about. So we're going to use existing. We're going to go website. We're going to go Profit Lifter. We're just going to grab our privacy policy because that's really all I need is the footer for this. Now let's see if this, it doesn't show up yet. So we're going to refresh our page. We're going to go back to our builder, refresh our page here. While I'm doing this, you guys got any big plans for the weekend? Got all your Christmas shopping done? It's about that time. Okay, we're back. We're ready to go here. All right. Got our page. Now we are going to click over here, right here at the top. This will let you swap between your pages inside of your funnel or your website. You can see we've got that up there. Let's see what we got. Oh, that's not the right one that I wanted, but that's okay. We're just going to go through and delete the stuff I don't want. Delete, delete, delete. Put that at 0. Now that trick that I was showing you with the templates, we're going to do that same thing. We're going to save this. We're going to call it footer, and we're going to add to global section. And let's go ahead and save that. If you don't save it, it will not transfer over. Now, when we want to reuse this section, we're going to come right down here, And then when it pulls up our option, it has global section over here. And so you can see we've got header and footer. So we're going to come just grab our footer. We're going to put our footer right down there and we are good to go. Now with this page, I am not madly in love with how this is aligning. But again, my function for this is going to be a little bit different because it doesn't necessarily need branding because of what we're doing for it. One trick, another trick for you is while you're working on stuff at the top, if you have your margins and padding set to 0, it sometimes gets really hard to see that up at the top there. We're going to come up here and we're just going to delete that out. We're going to put this at 0. There we go. That's a little more what I was looking for. All right, last thing I want to think about is okay, now that I've got this here, it kind of looks blah, like it doesn't really have a lot. So the other thing that we're going to do is we are going to design it. Now, when you're designing your pages, you have options that you can put just like a solid color background there. You can see we're going to have to change our color in our menu there, which looks okay. But for this one, I'm going to actually use a background image because that form really does a lot of the work for us. I think it's under our brand design images. Yep. And this background, this is actually one I just made on Canva. So super easy to do that. Okay, and then we're going to come up here to our background color, remove that. Now, last thing we need to do is we need to write our content out. And I'm going to change this logo since I am using a dark background. I want to use our white logo. Welcome to designing. Designing is a lot of back and forth, and sometimes it gets really ugly. Or sometimes it takes a while to kind of get everything dialed in where you want it. That's all right. Now you can see we use I use a longer logo here. And so when I did that, it scrunches it up because we have our width set to 75. So I'm just going to delete that width, and you see it just gives it the actual full width of what the logo should be. So doing what it should. Next, we need to change the color of our fonts. So we're going to come down here, click that. Now let's come up for a snap-on. And I'm actually going to swap this content. Submit your snap-on request. And I want to make that a little bit bigger. So we're going to come over to our font. We're going to come to our font size. And I know 40, not 489, not 48 is about what I like for that. That is a personal preference. That is, especially when you start getting into design and like what looks good, it is very objective. Now, I will say, though, some things are just ugly. I've seen some people do some stuff that was just ugly, didn't look good. So we want to keep that in mind. So what I just added here is a divider that will just adds a little bit of space in between there. You can make that, you can put that as a full color if you want as well. Okay, so what I'm looking at here and what I'm trying to figure out is there is this white spacing in here, and I'm not sure why it's giving that. And so what I'm looking for is I'm looking for why this is doing it this way. We could preview our page here. Clicking the little eyeball at the top right. Ooh, that is all scrunched and weird. No weird code. Huh. Okay, here's what I did wrong. So when I was setting this up, I actually put this background inside of the column or the row instead of inside of the entire section. That's why it was doing that. Sorry about that. Here we go. Now, there we go. That's looking better. Okay. Next, we're going to come in and we're going to add our content. I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. Usually, if you are when you're building a web page or you're building a landing page, anything like that, you want to your font size should be about 18 or higher. If not, it gets really hard to read. Unless it's intentionally like a small section you're using for designs. Have a great idea for a landing page, workflow, survey. Let's keep it simple. Have a great idea for a landing page, workflow, or automation. Submit your Snap-on request now. All right, now we are done. We have built the landing page. It is there. It is set up. It's ready to rock and roll. It's doing everything that I need to do. Now, I did tell you that when we were working on the form, that the form is going to give you the ability to, once the form is complete, the next thing we want to think about is what's going to happen from here. So we have redirect actions. Now, you see the first one in here is use action from the form builder. So while we were over here in our form builder, we chose our option to be thanks for taking time to complete this form. That's fine, but really what I want to do is I'm going to go to next step. And I'll show you why here in just a second, because this actually really, basically what I'm trying to do is create a loop for the, for people to submit different Snap-on ideas, where basically once it's done, it will send them to a thank you page. And then from that thank you page, they can submit another idea if they want. Okay, so our first page is done. I'm happy with that. Next, instead of going through all this headache of building another or redesigning our page here, we are going to just pull in a thank you page. Now, if you need a thank you page, every Profit Lifter website has thank you pages already built into them because that's just kind of so I'm going to call this one request confirm. And we're going to create funnel step. In this one, I am literally just going to go and grab one that we already have because we should. It makes it easy. You can see I got a thank you page right there. I'm just going to grab that one. And we are going to go back to editing. Now that we have our thank you page set up, this is more of a formality for me because we just want to make sure that thanks for submitting your Snap-on request. I'm going to grab this. And we are going to change this up. And with our button, we're going to come down here and we're going to say submit another request. There we go. And then we're going to link to a step, and our funnel step is obviously going to be the request page. For this one, I am going to take the footer out. Now you see that there is a bit of a color difference here. But what we're going to do, I'm going to show you a little trick here. We're going to come up to, which one is it? Oh, it's the bubbles, the background here. And we are going to add our image. So we're going to go grab the same image that we used before on the previous one. Looks good. Background opacity. If you want to make it a little lighter, you can do that. Actually, like what this opacity does is like it will take this color that you have down here. So let's say I have purple. You can see it. It overlays that color on top of the thing there. But we're going to go with none because we don't need it there. The reason that I did this here is because this is literally just a quick thank you page that I'm going to want to make sure is available, or that just takes up the whole screen with the color. So yeah, that's all we're doing for that. We can put a little space in between our buttons here. And we're going to get rid of our color here. Add that to 5 because that's our brand design guidelines. Get rid of that CSS class. Okay, that looks good to me. All right, so now our funnel is set up. It's ready to go, but unfortunately, the form is not going to go anywhere because if they just fill out that form, you have no automations that are tied to it. So after the page is set up, the next thing that you're going to need to work on is figuring out what automations are you going to want with that. So we are going to create a workflow. We're going to start from scratch. Our trigger up here is going to be form. So we're going to go form submitted. And I always recommend when you're in here building, under your workflow trigger name, you're going to say form submitted. And we're going to call this, and then just name it what form that you're actually putting in there. Now, if you don't put filters in here, every single form that comes through across your entire account is going to go through this automation. So you do want to filter this down to the form that you are going to be using for this. So we're going to hit save trigger. Next, we're going to, what are we going to do? We are going to add a note. I'm going to call this Snap-on request. And then from here, we're going to use our custom values for our form. But this is not going to show up in your list. Now, this is where it gets a little bit tricky, but under the snap-ons here, we're going to come down here. We're going to click right here. And you see it's got the query key right here. We're going to copy this. And then we're going to come back to our automation. We're going to paste it here. And then we're going to put these brackets around it. And these are the brackets that are right next to P on your keyboard. Hold shift and click that, and it will add that. What this is doing is it is grabbing that information. It is going to grab the information that is submitted on this form here under this. And so we're going to do this again with the Snap-on category. Snap-on request, and we're going to say category, add that there, put in our stuff, and then we're going to say Snap-on idea. We're going to add that right there. And this is just going to put a note inside of the contact record, so we've got a place to come back and look at it. Next, we are going to add this as an opportunity. We use ClickUp for our project management, but that's all right. I'm going to show you. Sorry, create or update opportunity. So we're going to call this, we're going to put this one inside of client projects, and in stages, let's put it under support tickets. We'll put it under new ticket. Snap-on request. Now, if this is something that you are using for your if this is something that you're going to be using for your like lead generation, this is where you're going to put it inside of your sales pipeline. We're just going to put the name there. No need for value. We're going to put it as open so we keep track of it. We're going to save it right there. And then from there, we are going to send an email as well. We're going to now, since this is coming to me and my team, we're going to put send internal notification. We are going to put this as an email. And then the from name, we're just going to make this from Profit Lifter. And we're going to put this at no reply because this is just a notification email. And then to user, it's going to let you select your user type. So this is going to be all users. This is going to be particular ones for us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and add the people that need this information. So I got me, got our project manager, got Brett. All right, and we're just going to call that Snap-on request. We're going to delete out this from, and we're going to put contact's full name in there. All right, Snap-on idea. Okay. And so on and so forth. So as you can see, like just doing this, by doing this now, we have been able to essentially just come in and set it up. So now when a form comes in, it's going to automatically create a note in the contact record. It's going to create an opportunity inside of one of our pipelines, and it's going to be an internal notification. Now, from here, you can do whatever you want with your automations from here. So if you're going to have like conversation AI, if you want to do a voicemail drop, you want to send emails, all that stuff is going to be available. If you want to, if you're using Slack, you can send a Slack message. For us, this is actually, this is one that we would probably actually send to a Google Sheet, meaning that we would have a sheet that's just pulled up. It's going to populate everything in. But some of the other things that you can work on is like you could do if then scenario, like there's tons of training on that. But basically, our Snap-on request is done now. So what this is going to look like for you guys, let me show you here. We're going to grab this one. Have to go to the back side of our system. Give me just a second here. Oh, one last step. Man, I almost forgot one of the most important steps here. The last thing that we need to do now, if you're going to be using this for advertising, you're going to be tying this in. You are going to need to connect this to your domain, especially like if this is something you're going to be sharing on Facebook, any place like that. So you can see we've got our path set up as Snap-on requests, but we need to go in and select a domain. You can see I got a ton of domains here, and they're all yeah, it's fun. So we are going to we are just going to use our profitlifter.com email, and then it's going to be snap-on-request. Now, all we're going to do is we're going to hit save. And watch this. Now, if we go here, look at that. Snap-on request right there. Full name. Snap. Keep that. Profitlifter.com. 877-661-1155. Snap-on category. Let's say marketing. Let's put I need something to re-engage cold leads. Submit your Snap-on idea, and let's just make sure everything's going where it's supposed to go. Thank you for submitting your Snap-on request. All right, perfect. I did exactly what it was supposed to do there. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to create this handy dandy little form here. I'm having a hard time seeing it on this screen. I can move this over now. We're going to select an icon. What's a good icon for a request? Let's think through this. Let's see if we have any plus signs. Here we go. Then link URL, we're going to put that right there. Oh, I forgot to fill out the rest of the stuff here. We're going to embed this as an iframe. Yep. Sub accounts. Select all. Make it so the admins can see it. No need for microphone and cameras. That's a lot of extra. So now when you look in your ProfitLifter account, and my sidebar is going to look a little bit different than yours because I've got a lot of extra stuff that's just for my team in here. I'm going to show you though what it's going to look like. So now down at the very bottom, you'll see a Snap-on request. And when you click that, it's going to say, got a great idea for a Snap-on, submit your Snap-on request. And that way it can come right inside of there. Now, for me, I am going to take this chat bubble off because we don't need it with it being internal like that. Yeah, it's literally that simple. So now our form is live. It's working. It's automating. Let's see. Let's go look at our opportunity list here. And this one was support tickets, wasn't it? Oh, no. In-house projects. Let's make sure and this is why we test everything. Let's look at our enrollment history, internal notification. Okay. Support tickets. New. Yeah, that's where it's supposed to be. See, it's making a liar out of me. I don't like that. Let's try it again. And email is keith@profitlifter.com. Phone number, marketing, something cool. And let's go back and check here. And my tickets are not creating. See, I did all this work for an hour and it didn't even work the way it was supposed to. So let's just double check our work actually while we're here. We'll go to our enrollment history. We've got 2. Okay, next we're going to look at execution logs. If you ever have an automation or you ever have something that's not working right, this is okay. So you see it says error right here. Moving an opportunity. Oh, okay. So why this is doing this, you can see we have allow reentry, allow multiple opportunities. So with this, all we need to do is we need to come in here and change this to say allow duplicate opportunities. That's what was missing. That's what I broke. Okay. One more time with feeling. ProfitLifter.com 661-1155. Marketing and testing. Snap-on request forms. Submit your Snap-on. There we go. There we go. You saw it just popped up right there. And that's it. That's how easy it is. So I know it took an hour, but I did a lot of yapping in there. If you're really just moving through stuff, it will automatically, or it will be a whole lot faster with it. But I was taking time to show you. But you can see, like right here, oh, it's just pulling in object. I need to figure this out. Let's see. But you can see that by doing this, let's open up. Let's see if let's see what our notes look like inside of here. Okay, so we do need to change this up. Excuse me. These Snap-on, these categories didn't work. So let's go take a look there real quick, because may have messed that up a little bit. All right, so we've got our category there. I put in the wrong one. It's actually this unique key. This is what needs to be copied. I was pulling in the wrong one there. So that's our Snap-on category. Contact test.snap-on category. Here we go. And advanced, unique key, copy. Paste it inside the brackets. And let's change this for our internal notifications as well. There we go. All right, let's try this one more time. From the top. And a big piece of advice I will give you, don't ever launch something that has not been tested internally. If you don't test it, it's probably going to mess up. So you always want to make sure that you're in there testing, that it's doing what you want it to do, what you think it should be doing, how it should all be working. All right. Test. 4. Request form. Okay, let's try this again. Let's see how that worked. We're going to delete that one. We don't need that any longer. Okay, now we're going to go look at our notes. There we go. Now it's pulling in the way it's supposed to. So that's it. That's sorry, I gave you a little bit of bad information up front about that, but that's it. That's how you create a landing page, automate it, put everything together in one spot. Like I said, it shouldn't take you much more than 30 minutes. A lot of that. Hey Edgar, this is our CRM, Profit Lifter, and you can learn more about us at profitlifter.com. That is what we do. That's who we are. And we got a lot of cool things that are built out. If you don't have an account with us, we actually have pre-built automation sequences, pre-built landing pages, everything already set up for you, ready to go, pre-built website. We can have you live in no time flat. Lots of cool tools there. So hopefully this is helpful for you. So if you are looking for a landing page, or if you need a landing page builder, you need a pipeline, all that fun stuff, reach out and let us know. Edgar, we'd be more than happy to talk with you and see if we're a good fit for what you're doing. That's our website is profitlifter.com. Our phone number is 877. What is it? Oh yeah, 877-661-1155. And that's how you could give us a call and talk with us as well. So that's all I got for you guys today, though. Hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Hopefully you can get all your Christmas shopping done before the holiday shows up next week. And we will see you guys next time. Have yourself a great day.